Good morning and welcome to the porch. Well, we're in here in the office instead on the porch just because the weather's so cold out there. But anyway, we thought we'd do a porch talk this morning. Now, I want to talk about something I've been a little bit hesitant to talk about, but the more and more this thing goes on, the more and more I see the need to express an opinion on it. You know, I've kind of lived by the philosophy that all that evil needs to reign is for good men to do nothing. And so the porch talk is designed to talk about social things that are going on that affect our everyday lives and the everyday person. And so I'm going to bring one up. Now, if you look at the thumbnail or the title on this, we're talking about Trojan horses. And I want to talk about what I think could be a Trojan horse. And at the end of the day, you need to be the judge for yourself. But I'm just going to put information out there and thoughts that should at least ignite a little bit of thinking about what's going on and how it affects us as individuals. So we had the saga between President Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene, and they had a little falling out. Well, I say a little falling out, pretty big falling out. And when I look at this thing, I ask myself, what really took place there? Well, to me, I look at it and I think, okay, is Miss Greene really what she claims to be? Because I've heard her talking, when she expresses who she is, she's basically a saint for the people's benefit. She's a good person and she's not really a politician. And I'm just going by what I've heard her say. She's just for the people. Okay, that's fine. You can be for the people. That'd be good if somebody was. So she talks a pretty good talk. But here's something that I've learned over the years. If you really want to know who somebody is, the talk is really, people have the ability to create a facade with their words, but their actions will ultimately give them away. Their actions will ultimately tell you who they are. I had a fellow one time that told me that another guy was talking really bad about me and kind of telling how bad I was and how good he was, and just warning me. And I said, well, that's okay. I said, I'll tell you something. I said, time will tell who's who. And that's a tough thing to have to live with, because a lot of times the person talking ugly about you gets away with it for a long time, but eventually it catches them. Now, the point I'm trying to make by using that little story is this right here, is that they can talk a good talk and they can tell anything they want to tell, but at the end of the day, their actions are going to prove who they are. Now, this fella ended up in prison for theft, okay? So we kind of figured out who he was. Fact is, the guy that told me what he was doing came back later, and he's the one that told me, said, did you know he ended up in prison? I said, no, I didn't. I never worried about him, so I didn't keep up with him. He said, well, he ended up in prison. That kind of tells who's who, don't it? Okay, that's just to make a point. That's all that's about. So the point, moving that point toward where I'm going with this thing, Miss Greene tells a good story about who she is. And I'll be honest with you, I was listening to her the other day, and I thought, well, golly, if she's all that, she's a pretty good person. Then my common sense kicked in, and I said, no, wait a minute. She's done enough stuff by now that I know the person she says she is and the person that I'm seeing is two different people. So let's look at that a little bit. She was all for Trump. She was all for the ICE raids and all that stuff to get the people out of the country that didn't belong here. And that's not what this talk's about, so we're not going to go down that rabbit trail. Then next thing you know, she's on TV and she's talking and she's saying, well, we need to kind of rethink that and maybe lighten up on that or come up with a better way than just catch these people and kicking them out of the country. Well, she found out when they did that it affected her. So she changed her tune. I'm going somewhere with that too. Here's where I'm going. She's changed her tune a number of different times, and I'm just talking about what she really does as opposed to what she says she'll do. So she's changed her tune several different times about different things. She's wishy-washy. You can't trust her, can't tell what she's doing. Now she's right in the middle of Trump administration, and then she starts doing this stuff after she gets rooted in there real good. So when I look at that and I see what she's doing, this is not the person she says she is. Another thing that concerned me greatly, and I would have hoped that maybe some other people would have seen this in time, but she is very combative and always has been. And I'm just coming from a personal level here. I don't care much for combative people. Hard to get anything done with them. So she's a very combative person. She's double-minded. She's this way or that way. She says I'm this and then she does that. So that's double-mindedness. You can't trust her. Can't trust people like that. Then she gets bent out of shape at Trump. What's the first thing she does? She starts going to the woke media and starts being critical of the Trump administration. Now I'm listening to her. She's playing both sides of the fence here, guys. Oh, I'm still a Republican. But I don't like this, and I don't like that, and he did this, and he did that. Well, she's trying to stay in that Republican place because somewhere down the line she's got a plan for the future. I pretty much promise you that. But we'll see, okay? So here she is trying to play both sides of the fence, and she's going to, some might say, the enemy's camp. And she's kind of siding with them. And she gets on CNN and, oh, she's sorry for being combative. She's sorry for toxic politics. And the thing about it is she's still doing them. She hadn't changed any. She's still being toxic, still trying to start trouble. She operates on a highly emotional level. She's very combative. And again, she was in the middle of the Trump camp. But now she's trying to seemingly do as much damage to the Trump administration as she can. Now, whether you're for them or against them, this is just an observation that I've made. So it's not to argue about who's who and who should you be for. I'm just saying that it appears as if there was a Trojan horse in the Trump camp. Now, let's take this thing a step further. Let's get away from Miss Green for just a little while here. If I were going to launch a battle attack on anything, if I could get a Trojan horse in the middle of their fortress, turn it loose, let it start doing its destructive work, and then start battles on the outside of that fortress, that'd be a pretty good battle plan or attack strategy, wouldn't it? So let's look at that. See if that's something that we may see going on. Okay, we've got Miss Green in this middle of this thing, looking like a Trojan horse, really. And then we have the seditious six that comes on and starts trying to cause trouble and doubts in the military personnel. Then we got people attacking the drug war that we're in to try to stop the drug boats from coming over here, saying that we've committed war crimes. Now, some of them have gotten very strong about that, and they've said, no, we have committed war crimes. Well, it turns out that we haven't. Turns out that they put that thing before some of the Congress people, and they've looked at it. Some of them come out and said, well, I'm troubled. They say that there's not any crime being committed here, at least up to this point. That's what they're saying. Let me take a little bit of a rabbit trail here for the benefit of the listener. Let me tell you something, guys. They said, one of the guys said, well, we should just let the Coast Guard handle that. All right. I'm going to show you something here, and you need to be listening to this. So he says we need to let the Coast Guard handle it. Well, you know how they're going to handle it? They're going to go out there in boats and try to stop these people, and now you're going to engage in a firefight with rifles in the middle of the ocean, and our sons and daughters are going to be on that boat that's in opposition, and they're going to be shooting back and forth at each other rather than having an airstrike. Let me just put it this way. Are you guys stupid? Why would we send our sons and daughters, and I say sons and daughters for a reason, because it seems like people that don't have their sons and daughters out there on those boats seem to forget that those are sons and daughters. They got moms and dads, brothers and sisters, and they are people. So let's just put them out there and get them in a firefight with a bunch of drug dealers on a boat, or we can just send a missile down there where they can't shoot us back and just knock them out and get rid of them. 4 or 5 guys, 6 guys, 10 guys, 12 guys lose their lives on those boats. But here's the thing about it, is if that boat gets through, there could be several thousand people well, maybe several thousand, at least several hundred people in America. Our sons and daughters can die from overdoses on those drugs. Do the math, guys. I said this before and I'm saying it again. Do you really want to do that? Do you really want to let those guys get those drugs over here? Let's stop being stupid. I know I'm using harsh language here, stupid and things like that, but some of this stuff is just stupid. Okay. Heard a guy say the other day, I'm on a rant, so you guys just let me go for a while. He said, well, we're just attacking fishermen. Are we really? Let me say this real quick. Here's the difference between a fishing boat and a drug boat. I'm going to show you guys a picture here. Okay. There's the picture. Now let me go a step farther on that. Those boats that are coming over here that we're sending missiles down on are what they call go-fast boats. They're designed to go very fast. They got 3 and 4 big engines on the back of them. Those engines cost probably anywhere from $10,000 to maybe as high as $20,000 a piece. Just how many fishing boats do you see that spends that kind of money on go-fast motors? Fishing boats got old diesel engines in them. They just got to run about 15, 20 knots, not 70 or 80 knots, okay? So you guys quit lying. Just quit lying. That's just a downright lie right there. Those are not fishing boats. They're drug boats. Okay, I'm going to settle down just a little bit before I get too wired up here. Let's get back to the Trojan horse thing. So they got a Trojan horse, Marjorie Taylor Greene, in there. It looks like, okay, let's just put it that way. It looks like. And then you got the Seditious Six. That's an attack from the outside. Then you got the drug boat thing. That's another attack from the outside. And there's several other little small skirmishes going on. But it's designed to weaken the fortress, is what it's designed to do. We in America better understand something. If we don't quit fighting against each other, we're going to lose the farm, okay? Now, my question is very simply this. With all of that, it looks like there is a very coordinated attack on our presidency right now, the Trump administration. And if that's so, it's happening from American people, okay? And Miss Greene appears to be a Trojan horse in this whole thing. I don't trust her. And we have reason not to trust her. Oh, by the way, just another thing. she's been in there 5 years. She went in there with, I think, like $700,000, and now she's got something like, I think I heard somebody say 25 million now. Okay, guys, come on. You guys can do math. You can't on less than $200,000 a year salary end up with $25 million in your bank account unless you've done something different. Insider trading, maybe, I don't know, just a thought. Okay, guys, I probably ranted enough today, so I'm going to go ahead and close this video up. We here at Porch love you. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit subscribe, like, comment, share. This stuff helps us. May God bless. You guys have a good day.